We're at the elimination stage here at the Copenhagen Major, and I've got FaZe Clan's karrigan with me. And I remember we did our winners interview when you qualified through at the RMR. We were very happy because you said you could finally have a boot camp, you would finally have some time. So just tell me, what did that look like? How long did you boot camp for? And how have things gone?
I mean, obviously, when we are a top-ranked team, you play every single tournament. You go deep in every single tournament. There's no time off, right? So the first thing we did was, I think, 5 or 6 days off after the RMR, making sure that we are ready for the major, but also the tournaments coming after. I think at this point, when you're a professional team, you need to be aware certain periods where you can take off and certain periods where you have to go all in. Yeah. And the last 2-3 weeks, like when we had break, I was making kind of a whole new playbook because you need to do that sometimes, prepare new stuff, and also make sure you have time to play it, right? So boot camp was more about perfecting the stuff we came up with, perfecting the way we want to play, and like you said, it's first time we had boot camp with Frozen and Neo. So we got to work a little deeper, and I think that's needed for us to get the last percentage to kind of lift the trophy again.
Okay, and I love that you say lift the trophy again, get this extra percentage in there. That's what I wanted to look at when it comes to you guys, because you're the #1 team in the world right now, right? But you're also the most consistent team we've had in CS2. It's been a string of first, second places in there, but more recently it's the second places. So do you think that's all you need at this point? It's like you're just missing that extra percentage since having Frozen in?
Yeah, I think there's two sides of the coin, right? In beginning of CS2, we were far ahead of everyone. Individually hit a good peak. We waited a long time, very top motivated, invested a lot of time. Yeah. Losing a player changed the dynamic of the team. But I think we have recovered really good under the pressure. When you are FaZe Clan, nothing but a final is not enough, and not even winning a trophy the last 3 times is not enough, right? So I think getting the last percentage, I don't know when it will come, but I know it's there, and that's what makes me calm, to know that there is potential on the side for us to achieve a higher level than we are right now. Being #1, I don't feel it. I feel we are only #1 because we're consistent, and that's a good thing. I wouldn't dream. I couldn't dream of the scenario we are 6 finals in a whole new game where it seems like it's a little bit more random than CS:GO was, right? So now we just need to make sure that we hit the right level at the right time. But besides that, we need to be really aware. There's going to be a time where we don't make the final, and just making sure that we're doing everything we can now. So this is not the time. But the pressure is high. The tournament is a high caliber tournament. Everybody's coming in with a high level, and we see that in the first stage already. Yeah. A lot of surprises there. So I think we just need to hit the right time, and I think preparation is not a question anymore. I think we should be integrated Frozen. Now we just need to make sure that we are firing on all parts of our game.
Okay, I love that. So you're saying you feel like you're at that stage now where Frozen's in, Neo's comfortable as well, you've had the time you need?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we had finals, we had losses, we had wins. We have been through everything besides winning with this lineup, and that's still what we need, right? Yeah. That can hurt us that we haven't won a trophy with Frozen, especially when it comes to major. But for now, I feel like there's not excuses when it comes to preparation and the playbook and new things and having time and being rested to the tournament. But there's always an excuse if you don't hit the level, right? If you don't hit the individual level, you're not going to win a major. I tried a lot of majors, and it takes a lot to win a major. It takes to be destined to win the major. And I felt that in Antwerp, and whatever hit us, I felt we were destined to win that tournament. Even though we lost the first best of 1 in the group stage. And I think we just have to see how we get rolling. But I'm feeling as comfortable as you can be at a major, but things can turn really bad on first day, and that's where I need to have the mentality. And that's one thing we haven't lost at all, the mentality of the team that we have built for the past 2-3 years. And that's the thing that always keeps me believing, is that no matter how the circumstances, there's always a way in and a way back. And I think we're known for that, but we just have to keep proving it over and over again if we have a bad start.
You just said something very interesting about being destined to win. If I think to Stockholm, it felt like that was Na'Vi. We felt to Antwerp, it felt like it was yours. This one feels like there's a few teams, maybe yourself, Spirit, Vitality, G2 Na'Vi. You can look at these names and put them in that pool. How does it feel for you? Do you feel like this is one you are destined to win, as you said?
No, I think when I look at the paper and look at how everything has turned out the last few months, I think there's 3 teams in the race, but holy moly, there's many teams right behind us. And if they work the right way before the major, I think a team like Mouse is dangerous. I think a team like Na'Vi is dangerous. And I think when we saw Spirit at Katowice, they were destined to win the tournament. The way they were playing, the way they were handling themselves, the way they recovered from a map loss. So that's the only thing. I think you can see in the first few days who is in like top dog to win the tournament. But I've been in many majors, you go 3-0, you lose first game in quarterfinal, it can easily happen. I think the way you prepare yourself for winning a major is you having a hard game. Maybe you had a loss in the group stage and you recovered and build up momentum leading up to the final. But like I said, winning a major is not pure skill. Winning a major is hitting the right time of your career. If you want to win a major, you need to hit peak as a leader, as a team, as a players.
And looking at some of the changes we've seen within FaZe, obviously Frozen came in, but some positions, some roles, like it swapped around, things have moved. Do you feel like, especially for you and Rain, if I think you made Overpass, for example, you've now had time as well to get more comfortable in that, you had these practice runs, because we spoke about it and you said, it's not that it's not working, it just needs more time.
I mean, the good part about being in a team like this, me and Rain has played so many different roles, so many different positions. I remember when I came back to FaZe, I wanted to put a little bit on lurk and see how that worked. That didn't work out so good. I mean, for me, it's more like, how do we mesh overall as a team? Because I think individually we are super great players, great decisions. But decisions are great in the moment, but it has not to hit the macro of the team. And my job is to make sure everybody is getting a peak out of themselves. Everybody can't peak at the same time. We obviously have some role clashes, but everybody's on the same page. Everybody wants to win, so everybody respect each other. And I think some of the positions maybe look awkward on paper, but if you actually think about it, who is playing together on that spots, me and Rain has incredible understanding of each other, how to move and how to be aggressive together. So I'm not worried at all. But the good side of having kind of a role clash over time is that a potential map is not working, you can switch again. And that's a luxury many teams don't have, where they're kind of set in stone. If it doesn't work, then you have to really rethink the scenario. And I think there's so many great attributes in this team that it doesn't matter how it looks on the map, we can always find a solution.
And that's the way you built this team, and that's why it has had this consistency, it has worked like this. One thing you've always said in interviews as well, and you've been very open about, is sometimes when your individual performance isn't there, you're so critical on yourself, you can put the extra time in. How are you feeling coming into it, like on that style of form?
Yeah, I think I took a wise decision right after doing the break where we had off, right after Ahmad, to invest a lot of time watching demos, catching up with meta. I think as an IGL, you need every second month, you need to watch everybody's demos to understand if you're lagging behind the meta, because if you're always blind to what's happening on the server and blind to what happens in other teams, you're not going to call a consistent high level. So the past 6 years, I've always done that. And knowing that I had to plan like this was at bootcamp, I would focus more on myself, making sure that I don't have to micromanage so much in practice, because I know I'm going to do it in an official game, and I need my level to be at a high confident level to come into the tournament. But you never know when the tournament starts, right? I know my role. I know my role is to be strong leader, to make sure everybody's on the same page, that we are working together as a team. My main goal is not to hit 30 bomb, but when I do, it's a luxury for the team, right? But I'm feeling comfortable where I am right now. But confidence is a word that I don't like to use. I'm confident myself as a leader and how I need to lead the team and how to call. When it comes to in-game, let's see. I always like to make a dry peak here and there, right? So if they hit, it's good for the team.
Definitely is. Now for you, you've won everything in CS. I look at your career and it is full of hitting the goals you wanted to hit. Does this major being in Copenhagen have a more special meaning? Is there extra motivation for you to say like, oh, I want this one more than others?
I think it's dangerous to put a major in Copenhagen on a pedestal just because it's in Copenhagen. Okay. I think right now I'm not thinking about it. I still think being in a major final is far away. There's a lot of stages, a lot of things could go wrong. But I think the second, if we hit playoff or when we will hit playoff, that if I'm the only Dane, I feel like there is extra pressure representative to have a Dane at least to win major in Copenhagen. We have been asking for this major for 10 years and it's finally here. And some Danes are doing good right now in the first stage, but let's see. I think if I am playing the major final, pressure is there, but I'm also going to acknowledge and just enjoy it because that's a privilege that not many players get to have. And I would do anything, and I've done everything before the tournament to be at my highest level. But let's see how it goes, right? So yeah, winning a first CS2 major, winning a major in CSGO and CS2, winning tournaments 1.6. I mean, I want to add so many things to my career, so when I'm done, everybody around me is going to be proud. And this is one of the big goals, right? Winning a major in CS2. Doesn't matter if it's this one or the next one in Shanghai. But this one would mean a little more, of course.
It definitely would. Now, lastly, your career, you have had so much longevity. You mentioned it, 1.6 all the way until now. You've even got all the way to CS2. Everyone else has come and gone around you from the old guard of players. Why do you think, and what have you done to make sure you have stayed in this position for all this time?
I think one of my attributes to be where I am, I've never been arrogant to myself. I've always been self-reflective, like you hint into is when I'm saying I'm so playing like shit.
And honest, yeah.
And that's dangerous, but also one of my attributes. I think my biggest issue I had 4 years ago was self-talk. I might say something into you, I might even talk worse about myself in my head. And
oh, wow.
I think my wife fixed that in that sense that I am already honest about myself and how I'm self-reflective, but I cannot speak bad to myself. And by changing that narrative of myself and believe more in myself, I think that changed the mentality and the leadership I have. And I also think my journey of never giving up in many of the teams I were, always had to prove myself to others, but also more myself, kind of got me in the spot where I am. And I know one thing I learned the last few years, nothing is given. Like, you have to enjoy every moment. Sometimes hard, sometimes good. And I think having that journey in my mind all the time, I know what it means. I mean, I even got very sad, upset in Katowice. Not because we lost, but just like how many fans was cheering my name, even though Spirit won. And that means a lot to me, and I want to keep pushing that. I have a lot of fans, I feel like, around the world that also help me push. And I just want to make them happy and want to see them smile and cheering my name, of course. But most of all, I think work ethic, you can always talk about it, but you have to prove it. And I think I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep working hard. I'm never going to give up. But one day, I'll not be good enough. But what I've done so far, I'm proud of, and I'm going to keep pushing the age to the limit. And as long as I lead that by example for my teammates and trust me, I know I can win tournaments.
Very interesting about the psychology side of things. Very interesting to hear all of that. I think I could do some of that at the same time. Karrigan, thank you very much, man, and good luck at the major.
Thank you.